So thou, O son of man, I have set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore, thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them from me.
Have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather expose them.
Coming to you from an undisclosed location in Middle Tennessee and examining current events from a biblical perspective, this is Bible News Radio with your hosts, Randall and Stacy Harp.
Hey. All right, hi everybody. That was funny. No, it wasn't. All right, hey everybody. Thank you for coming in to this episode of Bible News Radio. I hope that you enjoy today's show. Yeah, I do. That's right, people. So, of course, I have to go ahead and thank Bareface for being my co-host in life, and also my co-host, well, the producer of the show, actually.
Something like that.
He's so cute.
Something like that.
Yeah, he is. You know what he did for me right before the show opened? He opened up my jar of pickles. Yep, true story. I got this super big jar of pickles, and I couldn't open it, and I asked him to do it, and he did, and came to my rescue. I don't know, actually, if this is something that happens when you get close to 50, you can't open up jars. I don't know. What I know is, for me, it's a reality. Just saying. Anyway, if you're new to the show, I am Stacy Lynn Harp, your sweet and lovable host. And that handsome, hunky man literally across the table from me is my manly husband. Yeah, he is. He's got a cold, though. So, do me a favor and share this out, because today what we're going to do is we're going to talk a lot about the news of the day, including the lead story, which I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but apparently July has now been deemed by the LGBTQ community as Wrath Month. LGBTQ Wrath Month. I'm not making it up. Nope, not making it up. It's absolutely true. I'm going to read you the article that is over on LGBTQ Nation's website. Yes, and that is not a mock site. It's actually a legitimate homosexual-run website. Which, by the way, they're actually really upset. Well, no, they're not. They're not upset. They're kind of mad, I think. Which, I don't know. But we're going to look at some other news, too. There's some very interesting news out there. And... did you hear that Facebook yesterday, was marking the Declaration of Independence as, hate speech? Did you see that? Oh my gosh. Facebook. Oh, by the way, speaking of Facebook, I have to tell you, I don't know if it's just me or if it's everybody, but I have to admit, I'm going to admit this openly. I have to admit personally that it's so weird not to see the trending news on my feed. It's super weird. It's super weird because I think Randall just cut my head off. Did you cut my head off?
No. You're still speaking, so... breathing, all that kind of stuff.
There we go, okay.
So your head must be still attached.
I'm trying to sit up straight so he doesn't, the camera doesn't go down, because it's this little dinky camera that's looking at me. Anyway, trying to share this.
That isn't very securely attached.
It's not. Maybe
table movement and stuff like that, then it tends to dip. And so, anyway, we'll come up with something a little more secure.
Yeah, we will.
In the future.
Someday.
And why put off till tomorrow, which you can put off until next week?
That's right. Okay, I'm going to share this out over on my Facebook page so people can see it. And then you can tune in if you're there. By the way, if you're there already, please say hi, because I might not see you otherwise. Okay? All right, I'm going to shut that down. Oh, Alice is there. Okay. Alice, my head is still on. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. I appreciate it. Okay, and then over on Periscope, over to my right, Percy is there, Oddvar's there, Scott's there, Melanie and Jonathan are there, Mike, Jerry, and some other people that I can't see because I don't know why, but you are there. So a handful of you have showed up today, the day after the 4th of July. Jerry Joe says you guys are so cute. Yeah, we are, aren't we? The appropriate response would be thank you. But I'm a ham. Just so you know. Okay, anyway, so yesterday was Independence Day, as everybody knows, right? Because how could you not know, especially if you had pets that don't like fireworks. I swear, it literally sounded like a battlefield around our house. You go outdoors and there's fireworks literally everywhere you look. And then, of course, Randall and I, it was so hot here yesterday in Tennessee. I mean, blazing hot with humidity. So we're smart. We stayed inside. Plus, Randall's still sick. He isn't feeling so good. Anyway, Grover and Tuggy Bear, they did survive. Just so you know, they did. And then we watched the best fireworks in the world, and that happened to be on the Nashville. Nashville fireworks are the most awesome fireworks I personally have ever seen. Even on the internet, I have to say that they're really good, huh, Randall?
Yeah, billed as the largest fireworks display in the United States.
Mm-hmm. They're really good. You can actually go to the archive of the news website that did it.
Yeah,
over
WKRN
is that
TV.
It?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, over on Facebook, you can watch the archive there.
The CBS affiliate.
And it's only a half hour worth watching. And when you consider the fact that they had the live orchestra doing the music to it, the synchronization of it all was awesome. I mean, it really, really super was. Yesterday, I took my dad, who's 89 years old, to Culver's. I got him his first ice cream. I know you guys care about this. I put him in the convertible with the top down. I'm like, hey, Dad, want to go for a ride in my convertible with the top down? He's like, yeah, okay. And so I'm like, okay. So I had to put down the hood primarily because of his walker, which is too big for my trunk. It's one of those big, huge walkers. Those things are hard to put in the cars. So I threw it in the back seat. And anyway, then me and my dad, we were like cruising. Yeah, we were. And then my dad's like, can we put the hood up? I'm like, really, Dad? Because, this is supposed to be us looking cool, And he's like, can we put it up? So I did. Just so you know. Okay, also last week, it wasn't last week, 2 days ago, it just feels like last week, we had Stephanie Lane and her daughter Lee Ellen Lane on our show. And I have to tell you, they play pickleball, because that's what it was about. And go ahead, get ready for the Pickleball Rocks thing.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So this is so cool. Okay, look, I love pickleball, right? I do. Everybody who knows me knows that. Duh. Hello. I talk about it in every show somehow, right? And anyway, so we had these guys on our show, and it was super cool for me. I don't know about you guys, but between the archives over on Facebook and on Periscope, there are almost 1,100 views of that show. Okay. So there's, because she shared it out to her audience. Well, at the end of the show, I showed you guys my Pickleball Rocks t-shirt. And I want to let you know that that I made the comment, wouldn't it be so super cool to have Pickleball Rocks actually sponsor our show, right? Because, because I said it, because I thought it would be cool. Well, I didn't know this, but she actually works with Pickleball Rocks. No idea. And yesterday afternoon, I got tagged in this post from the CEO of Pickleball Rocks, and I want to show it to you. Okay, go ahead, put it up. All right, so you can probably see it before me because there's a delay. But you see that? Is that cool or what? I'm waiting for it.
It's there.
I can't see it yet.
Trust me. I
believe you. It's there. But anyway, so here's the thing. So check that out. So it says the Bible News Radio Show rocks. And it tags Stephanie and Lee Ellen and me. And the owner, it was actually the owner, Rodney Grubbs, who actually made that graphic, which says that's their logo, Pickleball Rocks. with the Bible News Radio Show. Now, I don't know about you, but that's so stinking cool. That totally made my day. I thought that was awesome because I didn't do it. It wasn't me doing it. And so I just thought that was super cool that they do that. And by the way, pickleball does rock, in case you're wondering. And I also have to say, some of the other feedback that I got, I had this guy over on YouTube, like, picking on the show because of it. And I'm like, okay. So I don't know if you want to read the comments over on YouTube. You can go to our YouTube page. You can read those because I thought it was funny. He actually said that he didn't think I knew anything about pickleball. And I'm like, okay, I've only been playing for 2 years and 5 days a week, right? I mean, you're right. I don't know anything about pickleball. Just so you know. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That for me was super fun. All right, so let's jump into the first. Let's jump into this lead story because I know that's what got you in here, right? So, LGBTQnation.com is it's a very popular, well-respected website that produces news for that highlights the gay community, and I came across this article here. It's titled "Pride Month May Be Over, but LGBTQ Wrath Month has begun." Well, first of all, I have to make a correction. The correction is that last month wasn't Pride Month, at least not officially by our government, right? Because Donald Trump didn't declare June Gay Pride Month, okay? He didn't. Now, President Barack Hussein Obama did numerous times, but Donald Trump didn't. So last month was only Pride Month to the gay community and their allies who actually like to celebrate it, but not actually officially as America, okay? So this article really caught my attention, and Randall's going to put it up on the screen, I think.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so just so you know, the picture there is flipping you off, just so you know, and it's not my picture. It's in the article.
I'm not showing the picture.
Oh, you're not? Okay, well then never mind that. Okay, so it says here, say goodbye to LGBTQ Pride Month. Say hello to LGBTQ Wrath Month. As the religious right trotted out their condemnations and concerns about pride, by the way, they would consider me part of that, just so you know. One of the most common tropes is that pride is one of the 7 deadly sins. Since the Old Testament also says homosexuality is a sin, when you combine the two, you get some sort of supercharged sin spectacular. So if religious nut jobs are going to use the big 7 against us, the queer community has decided to embrace the allegation and take it a step further. If June is pride, that makes July wrath. While many of us opted for the usual quips and jokes. So the Gay Burn book, at Southern Homo on Twitter, wrote, Pride Month may be over, but fear not. June is LGBT Pride, July LGBT Wrath, August LGBT Lust, September LGBT Greed, October LGBT Envy, November LGBT Gluttony, and December through May is LGBT Sloth. Gotta admit, they have a little bit of a sense of humor there. Dread Pirate, Rob Nerds said, last day of Pride Month, hope you all got your gay hexes and rainbow finish knives ready for Wrath Month tomorrow. So this is what it says here, though. It says, Anthony Oliveira, writing at the Washington Post, took a more serious approach that's worthy of note. He wrote his piece with the straight readers in mind, and his quick take on the quiet need for LGBTQ wrath, as well as pride, will hit you in the gut. Perhaps you're confused. Hashtag love is love. You tweeted, love wins, you said, and you meant well. Olivier writes, you always mean well. The beer brands that used to mock us, the banks that denied us loans, bachelorette parties that use us as props, the straight boys who assure us they are cool with it, but do not get why we have to be so in your face, so quick to fly our flag, and even quicker to take it down. Now we find ourselves wondering, what is it that your love has cost you, people? And what makes you believe you have any right to hold it equal to ours. We do not know what love is love means when you say it, because unlike yours, ours is a love that has cost us everything, he writes. It has, in living memory, sent us into exterminations, into exorcisms, into daily indignities and compromises. We cannot hold jobs with certainty, nor hands without fear. We cannot be sure when next the axe will fall with the stroke of a pen. Yes. You have co-opted our pride, but you cannot have our rage. No, you can't. While examining the rage concealed behind snark, Olivier, I guess that's how you say it, lets loose a primal howl that the LGBT community has released before and remains only a shadow's depth away from resurfacing daily. Stonewall, the White Knight riots, act up, he writes. Wrath Month is the chance to remember that before our symbol was a rainbow, it was a hurled brick. Civility be damned, then, along with everything else about us. Let justice be done, though the heavens themselves may fall. Happy Wrath Month. May your justice be swift and furious. All right. So, the LGBT activist community, they actually are, they're an angry lot. Kind of like they're mad. I mean, they're super mad, but they're mad about all the wrong things, in my opinion. They're mad because of the perceived injustice that they believe they feel that they have suffered. And it's really, really sad, actually, to think about it. And yet, it is interesting that this person, Olivier, or however you say their name, Oliviera, or however you say it, Anthony.
Olivera, I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, Anthony. But it is interesting that he writes at the Washington Post about the idea of love, right? And I also find it interesting that it is interesting that and don't miss this, okay? Because this is the reason I'm sharing this. We often share the biblical truth, right? Which offends people, right? Jesus offends people. Living like a real Christian actually offends people. Fake Christians don't offend anybody because they're not real, right? I mean, they might offend the real Christians because they're like, hey, I'm a Christian, but they don't live anything like a believer would, right? They don't stand for biblical truth. Jesus divides people, and if you're serious about your faith, then you're going to be serious about God's word, which actually tells you how to live your faith, right? The problem is a lot of Christians don't read God's word, so they don't know what it says. And those of us who do we get smacked down because, oh my gosh, you're one of those. You're a fundamentalist, or you're evangelical. Oh, you're part of the right Christian right. You're this, you're that, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, I am. So what about it? Show me some love, people. So it is true. It's interesting to me that it's on the radar of the activist community there that pride is a sin, right? And I think it is the predominant sin myself, personally, because that was what Lucifer was booted out of heaven for, right? Because he wanted to make himself higher than God. And as a result, well, the angels fell and a third of them went with him, right? And it's sad. It is sad. It's totally sad. So they take this and then they go, oh, well, if they're going to do this, they admit, note this, okay? They do admit here in this article that the Old Testament says homosexuality is a sin. You'll hear a lot of people saying, oh, no, it doesn't say that at all. But it's true, right? So the Old Testament, it does admit it, and the homosexual activists know it. They know it, okay? So they're mocking it by going, okay, July is Pride Month or Wrath Month. But you know what? The problem is that there's actually a lot of truth in it, because my friend Scott Lively, who happens to be an attorney, he actually coined this term law side, and this is what the gay activist community has resorted to. They are bullies. These are the people that go into places like Sweet Cakes by Melissa, and they demand that they have a cake baked, wedding cake, And then they throw this fit. They throw out this ridiculous thing of stuff that they've suffered because they were basically told no. Instead of being mature adults and going somewhere else and getting their cake baked, or baking it themselves. Just saying. It is an intention to destroy anybody who disagrees with them. And that, under the root of that is the devil. And I know that's not popular to say, but the devil comes to kill, steal, and destroy. There is nothing positive in the homosexual lifestyle. And there's nothing positive in those who promote it to you. There's nothing. There's nothing positive. It is anger, full. And the problem is that it's anger because they want people to accept something that they've chosen to accept that's against their personal desire. I don't know if I said that right, but I don't have to be forced to accept somebody the way that they are. In fact, my friend Dave Daubenmeier actually wrote on his Facebook page just a little while ago. I'm going to read it because this was really good. I was like, ooh, that's so good. Dave Daubenmeier is awesome. Coach Dave Daubenmeier. He wrote the following. I'm going to scroll down here and see if I can find it. Apparently he's posted a lot. It was probably from 5 days ago that I saw it. But anyway, here it is. Dave Daubenmeier wrote this. He wrote, a trans man asked me why I couldn't accept him the way he was born. I said, I do. Why don't you? Right? I mean, think about that, you guys. Think about it. It's exactly the same thing with going in and trying to protect women from killing their preborn little baby that's in their womb, right? I mean, you are made to look like you're the evil, nutty one because you're trying to protect an innocent baby that actually can't protect itself, right? When you go out and you're like, hey, but somehow the culture has twisted everything and you're the evil one if you're trying to protect life. And the one that's trying to kill life is, they're good and tolerant. And you're like, what? That does not make any sense because if the baby was born outside the womb and somebody decided they wanted to kill it, then most sane people would not let anybody kill it. Okay. So it's the same thing with the activist community. And what's interesting to me is that this homosexual writer, apparently, who writes about what love is, he says here, perhaps you're confused. Love is love. You tweeted love wins, and you meant well. You always mean well. The beer brands that used to mock us, the banks that denied us loans, the bachelorette parties that use us as props, the straight boys who assure us they are cool with it, but do not get why we have to be so in your face, so quick to fly our flag and even quicker to take it down. Now we find ourselves wondering, what is it that your love has cost you? Think about this, okay? Because I'm going to tell you the answer. Jesus, when he died on the cross for our sin, that's what God's love cost him. That's how much Jesus loves you, whoever you are. Real love will die for those he calls his friends. And in this case, Jesus died for the whole world. John 3:16, for God so loves the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him should not perish but have everlasting life, right? He didn't come into the world to condemn the world, but to save the world. And so what real love is, and that's really what the debate is about. See, the homosexual community will go, oh, well, this is what love is. You're denying us our love. The Christian community is going, well, wait a minute. This is what real love is. And this real love will bring you healing and wholeness, whereas the love that you're pretending, you're thinking is real love, that's not real love. That's going to lead you to death. The sexual acts that homosexuals engage in lead to death. All right? That's the truth. And anybody who dares to say that will go ahead and get yelled at or get called a bigot or a hater or blah, blah, whatever. But you know what? The science is on our side. The Center for Disease Control, the stats are on our side. Biology is on our side. God did not create two men to have sex together. He didn't create two women to have sex together. He created a man and woman perfectly to have sex together. And when a man and a woman do come together, and they come together perfectly in marriage for the first time, there is 0 sexual transmitted diseases that you'll get. Okay? And that's a true story. And me and my husband are proud of that. Almost 26 years. And so when we talk about what love is, what real love is, I don't think the way that the homosexual community and the lobby goes about trying to promote their version of love is real loving to most people, because if they're bullying the rest of us into accepting it, and that's exactly what it is, and that's the irony of it all, you guys, it's the complete irony of it all, is that they're the biggest bullies of all, and yet they'll flip the finger at us and say, well, it's you. You're the one that's intolerant. You're the one that's not letting me love just who I want to love. And I'm like, wait just a second, mister. I'm trying to help you live longer, be healthier, and be happy. Okay? Just saying. And if you're going to hate me for it, oh well. I don't really care. And you know what's really sad, though, is it's so politically incorrect today to do it. Even in the church, it's hard, because the church has been so watered down and so brainwashed and, frankly, taken away from the scripture and given pop psychology and other dumb, stupid stuff that has nothing to do with actual Christianity. If you want to see real Christianity work itself out, the overwhelming majority of the Christians in the world are persecuted. In fact, I read an article, and we might get to it later. I sent it in my email today. 144 nations persecute Christians all over the world. Now, it's interesting to me, this writer went on to say, it has in living memory sent us to exterminations. That is true, right? Hitler was an evildoer to the nth degree, and he did that. But he sent more Jews and Christians to the extermination camps than he did homosexuals. Let's not miss that. Into exorcisms. Well, that's understandable. Into daily indignities. Really? I think the act of sodomy kind of lacks dignity, to put it that way. Let's just say that. And compromise. It's interesting. And they can't hold jobs with all this other stuff. Okay, well, let's just say, so I would agree that there has been some unfair treatment of homosexuals in the workplace. But I would not agree that it's as much as they want you to believe. And I would also lead you to understand that the tables have totally flipped. Because if you're a believer these days, often it's hard to get a job. If you are somebody who happens to write about marriage the way God made it on your job, like this fire chief did, and you lose your job, or my friend Matt Barber, who wrote a column that was pro heterosexuality, off his job and lost his job. I mean, there's so many stories. It's absolutely ridiculous. And yet, it goes back down here to the bottom here. Stonewall, the White Night riots, ACT UP. These are very militant LGBT activist groups, okay? And this is a true story. I happen to know for a fact, because I've been to a couple of events where ACT UP is actually, quote, acted up. And they are loud, they are threatening, they use large torches of fire, they yell, they scream, they use, pans and bullhorns and stuff. In fact, I remember Randall and I, we talked about this a long time ago, but when Prop 8 was being passed, or being, it was being voted on, it was when it was up for election, Randall and I, we went to a protest, and we had a big sign that said, vote yes on 8. This was in California. And this is an amendment that said marriage is one man, one woman. So we go there, and then we are literally, it was me and him, we were literally surrounded by the gay activists, and they were yelling and screaming at us. And for the first time in my numerous years of activism, I literally felt threatened and scared. And frankly, I don't get scared when I do activism because I know God's called me to it, and usually there's zero fear, just like behind this microphone. I'm not afraid to speak the truth because it's God's calling on me. I know it, so I have no problem. That day, I felt scared because I thought that they were going to clock me and Randall because there was a group of them around us, and it was just me and Bareface. That was it, And Randall, of course, he was able to get them to calm down. And of course, I was smart, did not say anything because I might have gotten hit probably. I mean, they're not beyond that, right? So this idea about wrath, gay, LGBTQ, now they've added that, Wrath Month. Let's watch the news this month, okay? We'll watch it. Because I guarantee you that more people will be bullied by the gay community. And the reason why is because that's the only way that they feel like they're going to get heard. And the irony of it all is that they're the leading ones behind the whole anti-bullying movement and the move for tolerance. And yet they are some of the most intolerant people you will ever meet in terms of the activism. They calculate what they do to target people. And that is the truth. And I have proof of it, and I know it. And Randall can too. So I'd love Randall's thoughts on this. Go for it.
You would, huh?
I would.
Yeah, it's interesting to... as he mentions that, the stereotypical, straight guys, I'm cool with it, but why do I have to be so in my face about it? And that's it, think, well, you're so in my face with, heterosexuality. Well, how? Other than, it's the foundation of human history. Without heterosexuality, there would be no human history.
That's a good point. Good point, Bareface.
It's the building block of societies, small and large, be they a family or a town or a city. The nuclear family is, the nuclear family is nice. I know families come in all sorts of different sizes and shapes and whatever, but at the end of the day, the primary nuclear family is the family of human history. Because, again, there would be no human history without heterosexuality. And so it's in your face to the extent that it's just, the natural thing. Right. It continues to be a cornerstone of civilization, Western, Eastern, Northern, Southern, and all points, compass points in between. But the practice of homosexuality, which was used to be, what stay out of our bedroom kind of thing. What I do in the privacy of my bedroom is nobody's business but my own. You're right. That's between you and your partner and God and, whatever. That's, a problem. But it really is in your face in a forceful kind of way that, from the GSA clubs to
that's Gay Straight Alliance, in case you don't know.
To everything, in the After the Ball book. It's not about just, well, we're just going to live it and, just be this example, this sort of passive example that heterosexuality is. It's this, very intentional, forceful kind of accept this sort of thing.
Yeah.
So...
Well, there's quite a few comments that came in over on Periscope, and I see Darren is also over with Alice on Facebook. So let me read some of these comments because I like to. That's part why I bring this up, right, Kay? So let's see here. Scrolling back through all the comments. Okay, so Big SB, who actually says that their name is Gage K. Neely, who's followed us. Said, Anonymous is here. This is Legion. We don't forgive. We don't forget. Expect us. Fear us. Who's that? I think if you're still here, that was my husband. I'm confused. Okay. And then let's see here. Okay. Pastor Garrett says, have you and Randall tried the Mevo live stream camera? Nope. I guess that would require us to buy one, so I'm not sure about that. Let's see. Let's see. Words of something ministry. Hi. Robert Marlis. You guys rock. They are. And Natasha's here too, just so you know. Chrissy's here. Hi. Let's see here. What? Jesus doesn't divide people, says Mark Gregory. Really? Okay. Well, you need to read the Bible then, just so you know that it's in there. Trump is full of pride. I'm sure most people are. This show isn't about Donald Trump at the moment. Religious right are the bullies. Yeah. That's the mantra of the left right there. Does God love all his children? You know, it's interesting. God loves the whole world. And what's interesting about that lingo, children, is the implication that you're making there, assuming you're still here, Mark, and I don't know if you are, but if you are, you know, everybody always says that everybody is God's child. And that's not true. John 1:12 says otherwise. The Gospel of John, chapter 1, verse 12, says, but to as many of them who received him, to them he gave the right to become children of God. So you have to receive Christ and what he did, and then you follow him, and then you're a child of God. Otherwise, you're a creation of God. Okay? I mean, we're all creations of God, but there is criteria to be a child of God. And unfortunately, if you didn't learn that in church or reading the Bible, then you got to read the Bible some more. Or go to a new church, if you go to church. 4 Acres Strong says, I'm gay, sad face. Okay. I'm glad you're sad about it, because you should be. Natasha says, sad thing is many churches are already affirming LGBTQIA. Yes, and actually next week, I have on Julie Royce, who is a former talk show host with Moody Radio, who lost her job. She was a whistleblower. Actually, she wrote a brand new article. If you haven't seen it yet, go over to her website. It's on the Revoice conference, and she's going to be here on Tuesday. So you're going to want to make sure you get here Tuesday for sure. James Cameron says, Kim Davis refusing to issue marriage licenses to that gay couple due to religious beliefs. She was in a job that serves the public, not her religious beliefs. That is why she lost her job. I would agree, actually, that she broke the law. She went to jail for it. She wrote a book about it. I actually talked to her in person, gave her a hug, thanked her for what she did, and I told her she was a hero, because she actually is. And when you consider the fact that the Supreme Court of the United States of America overturned the will of the people in 30 different states that actually voted independently that marriage is one man and one woman, I could totally understand why she did what she did, and I would have done the same thing. Just saying. You know, everybody thinks the Supreme Court is the court of the world, but you know what? The Supreme Court, you know, they make some very bad decisions, like overturning the will of the people in 30 different states by sanctioning homosexual marriage from the top court in the land. Just so you know, I disagree with that ruling. And I think that it should have kept with I think that it should have been kept with the states the way that we, the states, voted. And fortunately, thank God, a couple of those liberal judges are leaving. And Donald Trump is going to hopefully put in some conservatives. And when they do, hopefully they will overturn that ruling. And hopefully they'll also overturn Roe v. Wade. In fact, the news I read about Roe v. Wade is that if they actually don't overturn Roe v. Wade from there, what they'll do is they'll go ahead and put it back to the states so that states' rights, everybody in the states will go ahead and be able to vote against it or for it. And then whatever the majority is, that state, you know, you'll be able to go to that state, abortion will be legal, this state will be illegal, and that's the way it should be. It should be illegal everywhere, though, just in my opinion. Amen, my sister. Praise the Lord. Congratulations. Thank you. Okay. Chief Queet420 says, love thy neighbor unless they are part of the LGBT community. That's my favorite part of the Bible. Well, if you read that in the Bible, you need a new Bible because it's not in there. When did you send out the email? I sent out an email this morning, Melanie. Jason said truth. By the way, thanks for sharing, Jason. Appreciate it. My brother and my nephew and my sister are gay, and it pisses me off. That's what AWSUM says. James Cameron said, I'm Christian, a preacher's kid. You all hang on to that one Leviticus law, yet ignore the other 200 laws. You can't cherry pick which laws you follow. You either follow all laws or none of them. Actually, I personally don't hang on to those laws. I hang on to the 2 that Jesus said, which says that the whole law is encompassed in these 2, which is to love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, body, and strength, and then to love your neighbor as yourself. And what's interesting is that I really know no one that does the first one. Just saying. Indoctrinating children to the lifestyle, the feminization of men. That's what Scott says. Yes, that's been going on a long time. Okay, and there's another conversation that's like going on here, so I can't read everything because of that.
The clock is ticking.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, hey, this is an engaged show. All right. Kim Davis was divorced 4 times, so who is she to judge anyone? I have no idea. I didn't know that about her. Okay, so because the clock is ticking, we got to thank our sponsor. Yeah, people.
Yeah, we do.
We thank our sponsor. In fact, we got a brand new Bible study from our sponsor this month, Ariel Ministries. The email, actually, I sent that out in my email today. Ariel Ministries, what is it? The Gifts of the Holy Spirit?
The Ministries of the Holy Spirit.
The Ministries of the Holy Spirit. I believe this is a 43-page Bible study you can get over at BibleNewsRadio.com on the resources page.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, go there, download that. And also, if you go over to the main website, go to ariel.org. Right there, you see it on the screen. You can save 20% on anything when you go to that website and use the coupon code Bible News. We actually have some suggested resources there on the page. Speaking of the resources page, I want to draw your attention to Bullhorn, the mobile app. Many of you are following us over on Bullhorn. I wanted to let you know I'm still an ambassador for them for the mobile app. And I was super happy this morning, super, super excited to find that they have updated the app. Now you can actually listen to your audio inside the app. You no longer have to dial out to listen to it. And I know there's some controversy over this, apparently. freeconferencecall.com is actually behind this app, right? It's their app. And so they have this thing where you can actually call out, by using one of their numbers to listen, or you can listen in the app. So if you're a part of that Bullhorn app in our community, make sure you go in there now and use it. You can listen in the app. You no longer have to call out. That's super, super cool. And then certainly not last, but least but not last. I think somebody's trying to call you.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't they know you're on the air right now?
No, apparently not.
Okay, anyway. The last thing is Legal Shield. If you guys have not yet set up a personal consult with me, and I know who you are because I know I haven't talked to all you yet, please contact me and let's set up a time to talk because Legal Shield, everybody needs it, especially in these litigious days. Just saying. And it's way more than Legal Shield and identity theft. There are like hundreds of perks you can save money on. And I really, really want to help you to do that. So just wanted to, give me a tweet, send me an email, call me, whatever, get in touch with me. And Randall's like messing with the thing. Anyway, and we'll do the Legal Shield. You can learn more. Click through that or go to my Twitter, the pinned tweet. There is a link there as well. You can get to me because this is helping us. It's definitely helping me. I'm having fun with it. It's so fun. It's really fun when you like what you do, right? Oh, and last but not least, Pillars of the Community. If you want to become one and donate to our show every month, then go sign up over there on our website to donate every month. I have just started sending out my special gift now to the Pillars. When you do that, you'll get an email from me with that link in there for the gift that you guys are getting. And if you are somebody who just wants to donate periodically, then you can do that too. Just let me know, and I will also get in touch with you as well. So thank you guys for supporting the show financially. I know I know everybody's struggling, so any help you guys can give us is awesome. Totally appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. I think there was a couple other comments that came in. James said, Stacy, I enjoy that you are open to other Christians such as me who don't share your views. Most other Christians tend to be, I'm right and you're wrong. Well, thank you. You know, I like to have an actual conversation. And you know what? One thing I can tell you for a fact, James, is that in my years doing therapy as a marriage and family therapist, many of my views changed. And I know a lot of you probably don't believe me when I say I have homosexual and bisexual friends. Problem is, I do. And I love these friends, and they're Christians. And I'm going to tell you something. We don't agree on stuff. But the fact is that when you're actually truly tolerant, in the actual truest sense of the word, you actually can listen to the other person's point of view without calling them a name or stupid or anything, and actually get to know the person. In fact, I have to tell you, one of my favorite authors is Mel Robbins. And she, to my knowledge, she's not a Christian. I mean, she uses, some pretty nice language, colorful. And I have to tell you, her and Brene Brown write very good books. And I'm going to tell you, they're both in your face, but they're both very direct. And one of the things, I think it was in last week's email, Mel Robbins, she actually sent a link to a TED Talk of some woman who's giving this really good TED Talk. And the whole point of the TED Talk was that if you're going to have actual dialogue with somebody, shut up. The irony of it all, right? Just be quiet. Don't say anything. Actually listen. And be attentive, be present when you're actually having that conversation. And then Brene Brown actually talks about, in one of her books, and I'm not sure which one it is because I have all of them, she actually talks about how because our culture is so split and divided, if you look at culture the way that the media presents it, oh my gosh, the world is coming to an end, right? But if you actually sit down with somebody who has an opposing view and actually get to know them as a person, you are not going to want to put a fork in their face. You know what I mean? You're not going to go, I'm going to kill you because you're so evil. Shakespeare said, if you prick us, we bleed. We're in this costume called flesh, right? If you prick us, we bleed. We're human people, right? We all have souls. We all have situations that put us in the mess that we're in. And none of us are perfect. So that's where I'm coming from. Do I get mad occasionally? Yeah. I'm human. Do I apologize when I'm wrong? Yeah, I do. And a lot of you have been on the end of that. You've been on the receiving end of those apologies. So let's see here. Oh, Darren just came in. Kudos, just joined Periscope to watch live. Darren, thanks for coming in. Darren, you guys got to follow Darren, because Darren actually used to be a homosexual, just so you know, and now he's not. Jesus set him free. I know he doesn't mind, I tell, because he's actually does the testimony of it. And he's got an awesome testimony, just so you know. People don't look at the fact that gay men that date straight from affect them in the long run. Golden child. If what you're referring to is they struggle with same-sex attraction, they decide to marry a woman so that they don't struggle, and then they go on the down low, and then as a result, they get you infected later, and they get AIDS and other stuff like that. We actually just had a lady on the show that happened to. Yeah. The problem is, good evening, Tora. The problem is that in this issue, nobody wants to actually look at the solution and the real causal effect of homosexuality. What? I'll do this. I'm going to do this.
Well.
Randall's like, stop it. The camera's moving. You keep moving the camera.
Well, she's got her elbows on the table when she gesticulates. That shakes everything on the table, just so you know.
Sorry.
Not my fault.
My bad. Well, this is a 2-person show. Anyway, why is everybody on this scope talking about that? Well, it's interesting, Bobby. You would know the word, right? I'm not going to say that, just so you know. Ben Shapiro calls it a mental illness. Well, it's interesting you should bring that up because according to the DSM-2, I think it was, or it might have been 3, homosexuality was originally considered a mental disorder, okay? And what happened was around 1973, the homosexual activists decided that they were going to do a behind-the-closed-doors meeting with the American Psychological Association and vote it out. So, just so you know, in case you don't know, homosexuality was removed out of the Diagnostic Manual of Mental Disorders, not based on research of any type. It was a political act. And, in fact, the APA and all of the organizations that support all that, they are so politically liberal and left-leaning that a lot of people, even liberal friends of mine, have left them because they have gone so far left. But the irony of it all is this, and this is the truth. The irony is the devil's clever. He knew exactly what to do. He went and he infiltrated the APA, not that they weren't already infiltrated. And they politically got it moved, right? They got it removed. And so they thought, the APA, now they don't consider it. So now let's get to the media. The media will have to then start trumping, blowing the horn that the APA no longer says this is legit. And then the ball was rolling, right? I mean, it's ridiculous, actually. Of my gay friends, they said we had to leave because gays are not welcome there. We left. Well, that's sad. I was in a relationship with one for 7 years. Okay, so you were in a relationship with a man who was gay for 7 years? That had to be hard. And then Hollywood political correctness came around. That's true. Let's see here. Is it a mental disorder when it occurs in the animal kingdom as well? The devil doesn't exist. Okay. Well, it's interesting that you should bring up the animal kingdom. And I know that people like to talk about that, especially in the homosexual lobby community. They'll say, oh, well, look at this study of these 2 birds over here, or 2 monkeys, or this insect that's gay. To which I would say, humans are not animals. And I personally find it insulting to be compared to an animal. I am not an animal. Human beings are the only creation that God made in his image. And so if it really actually does occur in the animal kingdom, who cares? Because the animals aren't taking care of us. We're taking care of them, okay? Just so you know, my dog Grover, my cat Gideon, they're not going to be burying me. I'm going to be burying them, most likely, because they're going to die before me. And if I die, they're not going to hold my funeral. They're not going to pay my bills. Nothing like that. So that's ridiculous, especially instantly discredited. You are a virus. Okay. Do you approve of Christian de-gaying camps? I don't. Too many kids have died in those places. Well, the so-called de-gaying camps that you're referring to, I think, is largely a myth. And if people have died in them, then it really should be front page news. Let's say that. I do think that people who struggle with unwanted same-sex attraction, if they want help, they should have the right to get it. And I think what's happening is that the APA and other places like California, New York, and other places, New Jersey, are saying that you cannot get it. And that, to me, is anti-American first, because anybody should have a right to be able to get help for anything that they want in this country, in my opinion. Let's see here. Okay. Bobby Dog, who clearly is a homosexual, apparently, asks a crude question. So I'm not going to answer that. Do you know that the gays support Obama and he was pushed to pass the law because they put him in on that? I know that the homosexuals lobby supported Obama because he's part of them. And he was gay and bisexual, apparently. At the very least, Obama is bisexual. It came about through older single guys and girls. Okay, I'm not sure what that is. Okay, we are part of the animal kingdom. No, we're not. Okay, Randall's telling me I only got a few minutes here. I gotta hurry up. You have the right to not marry gays in your church. So much ignorance, so much certainty, and fanaticism. Unlike you, right? You know what I find funny is that if I'm passionate, then I'm a fanatic. Yeah, I am. And you know what? I am. I am a fanatic. That's accurate. I'm a pickleball fanatic and a Jesus freak, just so you know. And I'm not ashamed of either one. Just so you know. You don't have the right to prevent others to perform gay marriages. I'm not sure what this even has to do with anything. But anyway, okay. So I actually, how much time we got?
Like about 3 minutes, so
Okay.
maybe 4. I know you had some other stories you wanted to talk about. But.
Yeah. Which one do you think we should talk about? I didn't think we were going to talk about this the whole hour. But hey, you know what? James says, Stacy, some of those ignorant comments I find amusing and laughable. Well, I'm glad to humor you. I don't know what one you're particularly calling ignorant. I'm pretty well read and know the subject pretty well. So if you can tell me which one you think is ignorant, then maybe we can educate you. Let's see here.
My guess, according to scientific classification, humans, Homo sapiens are in the kingdom of Animalia, and so he's probably taking umbrage to that you don't consider humans to be part of the kingdom of animals.
I think that was somebody else.
Okay, but maybe.
Yeah. Women are not ordained to speak for God. Really?
Are men ordained to speak for God? What about children?
Okay, you know what's really funny is Bobby Dog 17 or whatever it is. What's his name? Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Tony Gwynn. That's his name. Tony. Okay, so Tony, bless your little heart. First of all, I'm actually not speaking for God. I didn't go, thus saith the Lord. I, Stacy Lynn Harp, am speaking on behalf of God. Second of all, I'm not in a church building, which is actually the context of the verse you're actually misunderstanding and taking out of context, if that's the one you're actually referring to. So that's laughable. I mean, right there, that to me is funny, just so you know. I know what God's word says, probably better than you do. And anytime you want to go for a debate with me, just feel free to let me know, and I'll let you come on our show, and you can look stupid when you are next to me talking about the Bible, because you'll be like, I'm not sure where that is. And I'll be like, well, here it is, right here. And then you look at it and all that, just so you know. So, and I mean that in the nicest way possible, but not that I'm arrogant or anything, but I had this one woman who was the atheist tell me what was in the Bible one time. And I'm like, really? Because you've never even read the Bible. But anyway. What's LGBT? Okay, go back, watch the whole show, because we did that. Women are too ordained. When Jesus rose, Magdalene was told to go forth and preach, and he has. Glad to give you a laugh. Good. Actually, women rock. Just so you know. I think women are, whatever. So can we do that word, huh? Bobby, I'll tell you what, you come here and this fist will go right up your face, like right up your nose. And then my foot will go directly in your crotch. And I don't think you'll want to do that, just so you know, okay? And after that, we'll call the police and put your butt in jail. How's that? All right. Yes. Women can protect ourselves, because men who think with their nuts are nuts. Just saying. And you can quote me on that. The host of Bible News Radio said that. Yeah. Anyway. Tomorrow is Free for All Friday, where I'm sure we're going to continue the conversation. And you know what? What kind of man, really? What kind of man, a real man, will even talk to a woman or make such crude, nasty comments in a Christian talk show? Really? I mean, you're a wuss. You know that? You're a coward, a baby, a wuss. You need to get some help for your head, just so you know, because you're sicko. And you need to, get some therapy or something. Okay, just so you know. All right, so I say that meaning get help. All right, and tomorrow we'll be back with Free for All Friday. And and we'll talk about some of the other news that I actually was going to talk about today. But I wanted to, just wanted to let you know that when all of Jesus' men left him on the cross, it was women who stayed till the end. Actually, John was there too. All right, so Trump is your president. Well, Trump is everybody's president, even if you don't like it. All right, people, I'm going to go now. And I'm going to tell you to be bold, stand up, and go with God, because he loves you, people. Even you perverts that are out there watching right now, he actually loves you. And you know what? One of these days, he's going to get you, and you're going to go, oh my gosh. And you're going to hear these words echoing in your head, just so you know. All right, so tomorrow we'll see you right here on Bible News Radio. Have a good night.